Hi everyone, my name is Nicolette Springer and I am running for Orange County Commission for District 4. Thank you for joining us today on Facebook Live. This is Gabe. Introduce yourself.
And I'm the field director for Nicolette's campaign.
He is our field director, so anytime we come knocking on your door, which some of you may have seen us in your neighborhood the last couple weekends, because we started doing that in the beginning of the year. We've been doing it since last year, but we really kicked it up starting in January. Yep. That's Gabe. So if you're wondering why we're not in your neighborhood, you should email Gabe and ask him. And he will make sure that you're on the schedule.
Absolutely. And if you want to help us out, also send us an email and I'll make sure that you can help us out.
Yeah, and Gabe's email is gabriel@nicolettespringer.com. Mm-hmm. And you can find contact info for everyone on the team at nicolettespringer.com. So go on there, volunteer to help for the campaign. We are out canvassing in all of the neighborhoods, knocking on doors and meeting our neighbors and asking what issues are important to them. So we went out last weekend and canvassed. It was productive. It was cold.
It was freezing.
It was freezing.
It was freezing. We were out there for 3 hours and I felt like my hands were about to fall off. But it was good fun.
It was good fun. It does. And we took the girls with us, and so we had a wagon, and Gabe and I teamed up. Everyone spread out into the neighborhood. Gabe and I teamed up, and Avery was in a wagon, and we pulled her in a wagon, and when he started, she thought this was the greatest thing ever. She was like, oh, this is so much fun. And then by the time we got to the end, she's like, when is this going to be over?
She was tired. And she was in a little wagon.
She
didn't even have to walk around and knock on all the doors with us.
No, she didn't. But she was a trooper. Everyone was very nice at the door. So it was great talking to neighbors and getting the petition signed. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who don't know, we do have to qualify to be on the ballot. And in order to do that, we need signatures from registered voters in District 4. And so we are going door to door with those petitions. And you can get that petition online. Katie, who's in the background here, will pop in a link to our website, and that will bring you up to the petition. Just download that, print it out, fill it out, and you can mail it to us. Our address is on the website. And that would be great if you can do that, and we appreciate it. It's so nice because I've been starting to get them in the mail. And so it's like I go to the mailbox and it's like a little gift in there. Because it feels so, I feel like, oh, people really are supporting. Not that I don't think people are supporting, but it's nice that they took the extra time, they put it in the mailbox. So it's fun to go to the mailbox and get a few of those in there every day.
And that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So, more numbers for us.
Exactly. We appreciate that support, and it is important to get on the ballot sooner than later. So we're hoping to get those petitions in. So thank you for everyone who's filled them out and signed them. We have a really busy next couple weeks with all the things going on.
Yes, we do.
So first, before we start, I want to say hello to Pam. So I want to say hi, Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Pam is my friend Jen's mom, and Pam just had a double mastectomy, and she is home recovering. And Jen has asked everyone on social media to please post a picture or a video or a picture of your cat or your baby, something to cheer Pam up and keep her spirits high, and to say hi, Pam. So you can check out the hashtag. Katie's going to hashtag it in the comments. So hi, Pam. We hope you're doing well, and we hope that you have a quick recovery, and I hope that Jen's getting some rest, because I know she is an awesome caregiver, and I wish you guys the best. So we have some exciting things that we've been doing here for the campaign, but there's been some other exciting things going on in the just in the world in general, right?
Yes, there have.
What is I wish I had the paper copy. We tried to get it, but we were unable to. So I'm going to hold this up. I don't know if you all can see this. This is the cover of Time, and it says The Avengers on it. You all see that? And Katie can put a link to Time Magazine out there so you guys can see that. But way at the bottom, and I'm going to zoom in, which may not help you, this woman right here is our local champion, Anna Escamani. I am so excited to say that this woman is my friend. She is running for Florida House seat, and I encourage you all to go over to her website and to her Facebook page and follow what she is doing. She is a champion for the people of Florida, and she's a champion for women. And it is... Look at these women on this page right here. Every single one of them has been inspired to run for office in the last year, and I couldn't be more proud to say that I know someone who's on this cover, that I've spoken to some of these women on this cover, and they really are why we're all out here today campaigning. Is because it's just an inspiration to have all of these women backing each of us. We're all helping each other, and it's just been a wonderful experience. And so check it out. There's some portfolios and bios in the magazine, and I'm not getting any credit from Time Magazine. Like, I wish that would be great.
This isn't a sponsor.
This isn't a sponsored Facebook post. I'm just super excited that my friend's on the cover here. I'm going to zoom in again. Oops, nope, I'm not going to zoom in again. You guys go check it out. It's great. And I will say that these women on this cover have been inspired to run in the last year because of the level of politics that we have going on. Mm-hmm. It's one of the reasons that I've been inspired to run. Mm-hmm. This weekend, Sunday, is the
anniversary of the Women's March.
Anniversary of the Women's March, which I attended in Washington, D.C. last year. Here's my hat, and here's my banner that I wore. You can see on this.
See this.
Yeah, I wore this banner. We made this the night before, my friends and I in the hotel room. Because we arrived there, and here's the thing, they tell you all these things you cannot bring. So it's like when you go to a sporting event, and they're like, for security purposes, don't bring any of these things. So we packed super light. And then we got there, and we're like, we don't have any swag. So we went out to the store, and we bought duct tape, and we made these little we made these little sashes out of duct tape. And so on mine, we all wrote about our different states that we were from. So I wrote Orlando Strong on this side. And on the other side, it says we have work to do. Because I think that's exactly why I'm running, is because I think we do have work to do. We have improvements to make to our community. We have improvements to make to our state and for nationally. We just have work to do. And we all need to get out there and do our part. And that's why I'm running for office, is to serve our community and make it a better place for my family, for your family, for all the families out in the community. And so I was inspired to run when I came back from the march. And one of the things that I encountered when I was there in DC was all of these women from just so many different backgrounds. And every single one of them had a story, and every single one of them had something that just made you say, you know what, that person's right. Like, we really do need to change. And there's so many issues that it wasn't one issue. There was just a variety of issues. Some of it was healthcare, some of it was equal pay, some of it were women. I sat next to a woman on the plane. Her name is Joanne. I don't know if Joanne's watching because she's not on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Joanne and I communicate via text, and then she occasionally writes me a little note. So, and Joanne is a retired teacher from New York, and she lives in the Villages. And I sat next to her on the plane, and we chatted the entire time. And she was very concerned about getting on the Metro, and she didn't know how to get a Metro card. So she's like, will you help me get the Metro card? So I took her we walked together to get the Metro card, which is the subway in DC, and we chatted the entire time on the plane. And one of the things she said, I had said to her, I don't know, I feel like I need to do something. I'm thinking about running for office. And she said, I wish I would have run when I was younger, because now maybe we wouldn't be sitting here on this plane. And to me, that really, the rest of the weekend, that's how the weekend started, and the rest of the weekend was meeting women who said essentially the same thing in some capacity of whatever their issue was. And I came home from that, and I said to John, after I got off the plane, he said, how'd it go? Tell me everything about it. And one of the first things I said to him is, I need to run for office. And he said, I know, it's about time. And so that's how we kicked off the campaign. We just hit the ground running in February, kind of doing some background stuff. And then in March, we officially filed and we got everything moving. But every single woman that I marched with in DC was an inspiration to me. So to see this cover of Time and the acknowledgement that so many women are running, not only for national seats and state seats, but for local seats and school board seats and commission seats like myself, it really does make a difference. The state house only has 30% women. That's not reflective of our population. And so it really is a time where we should see some equality. We should see a good balance of who's being represented and making sure that everyone has a voice. And so I am thrilled that there are so many women running. I'm inspired by all the women who are on the cover of the magazine. And I will be at the march. We will be at the march on Sunday. We will have a table.
It's at Lake Eola if you're in the Orlando area and want to participate. Mm-hmm. And that's the Sunday during, what time is it?
I think it's 10 to 2. Yeah. It's 10 to 2. I think it's 10 to 2. Katie's going to put the info down. She's going to link it. But we will be out there. Look for a table. There are going to be a lot of candidates out there. They had a special section when we signed up for the march for just candidates. And Anna Escamani, who is on the cover of Time, will be our MC. So please come out, listen to her speak. There's a lot of other great speakers who are going to be there. Walk around to the tables and meet some of these candidates who are running for office. They're not all women, but they're all people who believe in the issues and why we marched. And so come on out, meet the other candidates. And Katie's going to put up a post to an organization called Ruth's List. And Ruthless is an organization here in the state of Florida that supports women and gives them the encouragement and the skill set, and they give us tutorials, and they've trained people like Gabe to help us throughout the state to run for office. And they need your support. So whether you're thinking about running for office or whether or not you just want to support another woman who's running for office, go out to Ruthless website and check out the things that they're offering and see how you can help. There's an option on there to make a donation. There's an option on there to volunteer. Mm-hmm. There's all these different things that can be done, and we can do it if we all work together.
That's right.
Yeah? So at the booth, we will have some petitions. You're not shocked. I know you're not. We'll have petitions.
We have lots of petitions to sign, and if you're in the district and you're going to be at the march and you haven't signed a petition, pretty niche market at this point.
Yes.
We'd love to have you out there, and you can come and meet Nicolette and also sign one of the petitions.
Absolutely. I would love to see you. And we'll be at Cars and Coffee. Mm-hmm. Katie could put the link up for that. That's the first Saturday of the month in Lake Nona off of Narcoossee. So it's another opportunity to come out, meet me at a booth, and chat with me. And then what other things we have going on in February? We're canvassing every weekend, so check the website. Katie can link to the events page. Yep. And you could see what neighborhoods we'll be in. And if we'll be in your neighborhood, drop us a note. We'd love to stop by. Or if you want to volunteer, that would be fantastic as well. Yep. And then in the middle of February, I don't think I told you guys this. I probably should have, since you guys organized my calendar.
All right.
Is that I'll be
to me. So
this is the news to Gabe. I will be in DC for 3 days.
Oh no, this isn't news.
Okay.
Talk about this. This is great.
Okay, so I volunteer for an organization called Shot at Life, and Katie, who I'm just totally in the background, like, you didn't tell me you were going to say this. Can you link to that, please? So Shot at Life is an organization that advocates for children's health and specifically for equal access to vaccinations globally. Mm-hmm. And we believe that every child deserves a shot at life, and vaccines is the number one way to keep a child healthy. And so we go to Washington, D.C. once a year. We get advocacy training. We learn about the different new technologies that they have about transporting the vaccinations in developing countries, and also just the new science that's going on with the vaccines. And then we take that information and we go to the Hill and we have an advocacy day. And so I'll be meeting with our congressmen and our senators from the state of Florida. It's a delegation that we go state by state, and it's amazing. I'm going to try to Facebook Live while I'm doing that, but the reception in the Capitol, in the Senate and the House buildings isn't always reliable, but I will do my best to do that because it's really cool. If you haven't been, have you been to DC and done the tours underneath?
The last time I went to DC was probably when I was like 7 years old, so I don't think I was able to truly appreciate, but I want to go to DC. I'm jealous that she's going to this thing, but
I can put you in my suitcase.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
It won't be suspicious at all.
No, I don't think so.
I think it'll be fine.
This is a joke, TSA. We're totally joking if you're watching.
Yes, I'm sure they're our number one viewer.
Right?
Your mom's watching. She's very concerned. She's like, don't stick my son in a suitcase.
Please, no.
But under the Capitol, the House buildings and the Senate buildings, there's underground tunnels. And so you can go from building to building without going outside. Because it's underground, you don't always get the best cell service. But it is really cool to see that, and they have a bunch of different displays. They often have art displays down there on the walls. So last time we were there was an art contest for high schoolers, and so all the high schoolers that submitted artwork had it displayed on the walls as you walked downstairs. And then there's also a little monorail system similar to the monorail at Disney.
This is a lot more intricate than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's a mini monorail. It's by no means like a big monorail, but it's like a mini monorail, and you could ride from building to building, or you could walk the whole way, but the monorail makes it quicker, particularly if you're coming from one end to the other, because the buildings are really spread apart. So it's really cool down there. So I'll see if I can get some video while I'm there, but I'm very excited to go and talk to my representatives from here in the state and tell them why we need to continue supporting global health and children's issues. And I'm most excited to see some of my amazingly close friends who are up there. It's a great team. I've been doing this for 5 years, and the group of women that I have become friends with over the course of this volunteer stint that I've done for 5 years with them they're one of the main reasons that I'm running. Their encouragement, their just kind of go and get them. Mm-hmm. That's one of the women from that group is who I marched with in DC, Alina. I don't know if she's able to watch, but there's nothing to say, there's nothing more inspiring than having a bunch of other people say I think you can do this. And I know that sounds so simple, but sometimes
it means a lot.
It means a lot.
Yeah,
and so when I first started volunteering with these women, I never knew that they would be such an integral part of my life, but they really are. I speak to them almost daily or communicate with them almost daily, all of them. And so it's just been amazing. So I'm excited to get up there and see them. And it will be cold, which is cold here.
It's really cold here.
Yeah. Thus the scarf.
I mean, I had a jacket on. I took it off because they have it nice and warm in here. But my hands. I don't have gloves. It's Florida. It's Central Florida. Why am I going to invest in gloves that I'm going to use once a year? Turns out there's like 3 days already where I could have been like, boy, if I had just a thin pair of gloves, that'd be great. But
I feel like there's phases of Florida winter. So like first week, yes, because like I think the first week of Florida winter, you're like, I'm panicked. I don't have the stuff. Like I don't have the gloves. I don't have this. Then you realize like I do have a few things, so you start to put it together. So by week 2, you're kind of excited. You're like, I got a cute sweater.
But then that's it. Florida winter's over. It's summer again.
And then you got boots. You're like, oh, I got a hell outfit. But then by week 3, you're just annoyed. Like, this is week 3 of Florida winter, and I'm just aggravated that I have to continue to explain to my children about layering. They're like, I don't understand which shirt goes on first. And I'm like, how hard is this? It's 2 shirts, the long sleeve one first. But yeah, it's definitely... And then...
That's funny.
But the other thing, too, is because my kids wear shorts all the time, which I'm sure you're all of everyone here in Florida is, when the one time they have to pull out pants, it's been months since they've worn them, and so they put them on, and they're like high waters. They're like too short.
Because your kids are growing.
Because the kids are growing, and I'm like, oh, just put some boots on. Nobody will know. Because I think that's that panic of mom of like, oh no. You're like, if it's on the waist, don't worry, you've grown.
Fair enough.
I will say, have you noticed that there's been a lot of postings from some of our Orange County agencies about the cold weather? How to be careful in the cold weather. And one of them is the Orange County Animal Services. They have an abundance of kittens right now. I know. Yeah, because there's so many of them. And they've put out some warnings. They've said to please check, if you park your car outside, to please check out under your car or when you start, because the kittens will get cold and then they try to find warmth in your engine. So they'll come up there. So they said to please be careful. They're posting some stuff on their website. And they're posting pictures of the cats. And it's painful because I'm like, I just want them all. I want all of the cats. Oh, no. Yeah, but they're super cute. So go check them out. Katie's going to drop a link to Orange County Animal Services, and you can see all the little kitties. They put up a grid of cats. It looks kind of like the Brady Bunch grid, but much bigger. So it's like 16 spots, and they're all with little cat. And I feel like it's just it's an advertisement for Cat Lady Starter Kit. Like I'm I will take all of the cats.
Oh my goodness.
Tell them about your cat.
My cat, Ellie. Oh gosh.
Ellie rides in the car with Gabe.
Ellie does ride in the car with me, and I'm gonna take a trip now. After this, actually, I'm gonna go down and take a little road trip, and she's coming with me. And her favorite spot to sit in the entire car isn't in the seat next to me. It's not behind me. It's not in the cage. It's on my shoulder, right there, the entire time.
The entire time.
And most of these road trips that I take down to go see my family are about 3.5, 4 hours, depending on traffic. She will sit there on my shoulders for 4 hours, totally complacent with what's going on. No questions asked, and I'm just kind of.
You're just there. You are her human. You're there to please her. Like it doesn't matter if you're uncomfortable,
and that's okay. I love her, and I don't mind.
So the cat situation at the animal shelter. I'm sure there's a dog problem too. I'm sure that there's an abundance of dogs and puppies. So if you're a dog person, don't be offended.
Right.
We are cat lovers. We dogs too. So go check out Orange County Animal Services, and they are having a few programs where you can get the adoption fee waived for a variety of reasons. So that would be a low cost, and if your heart is open right now for a new furry friend in your life, check out our Animal Services. And what else do we have going on this month? Petitions, and we'll be at the Women's March, which we've already talked about. Yes. How about when we go out and canvass, what do you think people should know when we knock on their door? Should they slam the door in our face?
We'd prefer for you not to slam the doors on our faces. Just because, Like, we're just here. We're out there trying to fight the good fight. We're trying to do change.
People are very nice. I'm being sarcastic,
Yeah.
but people are very nice. No one has
People
no one has slammed the door in our face.
No.
We encounter a lot of dogs. A lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs. And some of them are fun. Some of them are really cute. And I love dogs just as much as I love cats.
We're going to start posting pictures of all the dogs we meet when we canvass.
We did talk about that.
That was a thing.
Dogs of District 4.
Dogs of District 4. It's going to happen. We're going to post about it when we're out canvassing, getting the petitions.
Yeah.
But I think that the other thing that I would say too is that we're doing some leave behinds. So if we're in your neighborhood and we knock on your door and you're not home, we will leave some material behind. It has my business card with my cell phone number. You guys are welcome to call me at any time if you have any questions. It has my email address, and we're also leaving petitions at some homes. So if you fill that out and mail it in to us, or you can text me and we'll come back and pick it up. Yep. It's a big district, but we don't mind taking a little bit of a ride. We will come out and check it out. And since we are talking about the district, we didn't really define. We've said it before in other Facebook Lives, but the district's really large.
Very large. Very large.
So how do you know if you live in District 4? Well, Katie's going to link a map, and so then you can look on the map and see if you live in District 4. But the district starts pretty much at John Young, on the southern side of John Young, all the way through Lake Nona, and then up towards Avalon Park and Waterford Lakes, and a good portion of East Orlando, a portion of the Lee Vista area. So it's a really geographically large area for us to cover. We're doing our best to get to every area, but one thing that we can use your help with is volunteers.
Volunteers is probably the easiest way to just kind of just send us a text or an email like, hey, I'm interested, and we can find you a day, a weekend.
And there's a page on the website where you can volunteer. If you go to the drop-down menu, it says "Get Involved," and you can volunteer there. You can fill out your information on there, and then it says how would you like to volunteer. And there's a few check marks, and I think there's also an other, so you can kind of fill that in. So, and it's not. Some people aren't comfortable going door to door, and that's okay. But we need help with phone banks. We need help with it's
an acquired taste. It's something that you learn how to do.
But it's fun. I like talking.
Fun.
I think it's my favorite part of campaigning because I like to go out and talk to people and hear what their concerns are and see how we can help them. So that's my favorite part. You're making a face because
I think I prefer other parts of the campaign, but canvassing and going door to door, talking to all of the constituents, talking to future voters is probably the most important part of the campaign.
Well,
it's
why we're running. It's
right.
Because I want to be able to serve the community, and I can't serve you unless I'm out there asking you what you need.
Right.
So for me, it's informative. It helps me serve all of you better, and I hope to continue that communication and that dialogue when I am commissioner. I plan to make sure that our communications with those in the district is top notch, that we're doing our best to get information out to you as quick as possible so that you know what's going to be going on in your neighborhoods, if there's road construction, if there is going to be something going on the highway, or if there's anything as far as county services are going to change. We're going to make sure that you guys are informed as much as possible, and we're going to do our best to make sure that it's relevant and that it is timely, because I think that makes a big difference. Knowing about road construction after it's already occurred, what's the point? Yeah, so we're going to do our best, and that's just one example of how we're going to serve the community. But for me, it's just about being a voice for everyone out in District 4 and making sure that all of your concerns are heard. And so when I come to the door, take a few minutes. I'm not in a rush. I'm happy to chat with you. These guys are in a rush. They'll go to the next door. But I will stay around and chat and hear what issues are important to you in the county and where you see Orange County going, and what you would like for me to represent for you when I am on the commission.
That's right.
As a reminder, Election Day is
August 28th.
August 28th, so that is our first round of elections, and if necessary, we'll go to a runoff in November, but August 28th is the day that we need you all to cast your vote. And you can also do early vote, and you can do vote by mail. And vote by mail, Katie can drop a link into the Supervisor of Elections. You can now register to vote by mail. You can actually register to vote generally on the online now. You used to have to go to the DMV, and a few other county service offices had locations, but you used to have to be able to do it at the DMV. You no longer have to do that. You can just do it online, so you can register to vote, and then you could also register to vote by mail, which is cool because you put something in the mail and you're like, how do voting is very important. You want to make sure it arrives.
Right.
And so the Supervisor of Elections the supervisor of elections has Assure, they have a system and you track it like a Amazon package.
Yeah.
So once you drop that in the mail, you can track it and you know if it's arrived, when it's arrived. And if you decide to vote at the polls, you can still do that even if you are registered by mail. You just take your ballot with you and you can register or you can vote at the polls on the day of election. But it's good to have a plan, just in case things happen,
Absolutely. And even if you register to vote by mail, the ballot shows up anyways. So even if you forget August 26th, you're like, oh, there's nothing going on the 28th. Let me do something else. You come home from work and the ballot's there,
But we want you'll get it 30
well,
days.
You'll get it 30 days. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
If you register to vote by mail and you by chance forget that an election's coming up, the ballot's going to show up, and then that's when you can sit down, open up the ballot, research your candidates, research the policies that you're about to vote on, and make an informative decision.
Yeah, there'll be amendments and other things, ordinances that will be on the ballot.
Yeah, it's a good option.
Yeah.
It's a great option.
We think it's the best option. You guys can find all the information that we talked about today on our website, which is nicolettespringer.com. I'm obviously on Facebook, so you already know where to find me there. I'm also on Instagram and on Twitter. And we encourage you guys to look at the events page. We do have events coming up the next couple weeks. We have an event that we're hosting that is on the website. It's a mix and mingle. If you want to come out and meet me on Thursday, I would love to see you at that event. So RSVP, we will reach out to you. And then you guys have a great weekend. I hope that you guys enjoy it and stay warm and cozy because it is a little chilly out there.
My hands are starting to get a little cold again.
And go peruse the kitties. Go see if you can get a cat from Orange County Animal Services.
Adopt, don't shop.
It's right. Adopt, don't shop. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in.